Hey guys, welcome back to Easeldoesitstudio. So I had these night lights for a while now, and I haven't done a video on them for a while, so I figured today would be a good day to do that because my last 2.5 days has been consumed. I am doing a ginormous fairy house for outside of my house. So I have been working on that, and literally I have another table on the other side of this. So I've got 2 tables, and just the base of my fairy house is taking up the table plus some of this table. So I just kind of moved everything out of the way, and I'm like, well, let's do a quick video. So back, I don't know, it's been a while since I've done one of these. We're going to make these night lights, but we're going to use UV resin. So I figured on one of them, we're going to add this butterfly because, I don't know, I just thought it would be really cute. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some UV resin and some of the Unicorn Art crushed crystal. And we're going to use that as the base, and then we're going to set this on, and then we are going to cure it. So I've got my double-sided Let's Resin UV light out, and this light will sit right on that perfectly. And then we can just push that in and cure it. So that is what we're going to do with one. I pulled out some different stickers. So I'm thinking we'll probably do like a floral one. We'll do a peacock. And we'll figure out what we're going to do for the next one, because there's 4 in there. So hopefully I can get all 4 done and still keep this a fairly quick video for you guys. All right, so I'm just going to put some clear UV resin in. And we don't need a ton because it's just going to be a thin layer. But I do want a little bit of sparkle, you know, in the backdrop. So let me just grab a stick here. Now you can do these a bunch of different ways. You can do regular resin. This is just an acrylic base. So one of my subscribers had messaged me, and they wanted to know about putting a photo on a piece of acrylic. So you can do it the same way, as long as your photo is sealed. And hers was. She had it laminated. So you would just put your clear resin down, put your photo, make sure there's no bubbles, and then let it cure. So yeah, it wouldn't be, you know, that difficult at all. All right, so we have got a crushed crystal in here. Let's put, and I am going to, if I can reach my paper towels here, I'm just gonna make sure that my base is clean. Now, if you're just new and you're starting, you could put a thin layer of tape to cover that if you're afraid that the resin's going to get down in there. And I'm just using this masking painter's tape roll. It holds it really good, so that is what we're using today. All right, so, and then we're going to just go around the edge. And then we're going to put the rest in the center. And if I have to add more, I can, but I don't believe I'm going to have to add any more of the crushed crystal. And I'm just going to use my scribe, and we're just going to pull it to the edge. You don't want to go over the edge. You just want to get it to the edge, because the surface tension will hold it there as long as it doesn't drip down. If it drips down, wipe it immediately so that it doesn't keep just draining off in that one spot. So I'm just gonna, and I'm just bringing it to the edge. And I hope I didn't put too much, because we're going to be setting that butterfly on there. So I might have to scoop some off, but we'll see. All right. And I'm just going to turn it, and I can already see that I got a little bit down there. So I'm just gonna just kind of wipe that so that it doesn't keep running in that one spot. And then I'm just gonna slowly bring it across the bottom, try to get an even line. And then kind of look at it at different angles just to make sure that there's no pulling away, because you don't want there to be any fish eyes. And that's what will happen if you don't have enough resin. And we're going to use a long neck lighter, and we're just going to go over the top of this lightly to get any of those like surface bubbles out. So I'm just kind of turning it in different angles because of the glare of my lighting. I want to make sure that everything is coated. These sell really, really good, guys, at like craft events. And I don't believe that I have any left. So I was like, oh, okay, I can make some of these. All right, so that looks pretty good. It doesn't look like anything is pulling away. So I'm just going to take my lighter here, and we're just going to run it over the top. Don't hold it in one spot for too long, because you don't want to thin your resin out too much. But you want to pop any bubbles that might be there. Okay. And then we are just going to... Oh, yo! And try not to do that. So we are going to set our butterfly right on there. And then just trying to move stuff here so you can kind of see what I'm doing. All right, so I'm going to move my light here. I'm going to turn it sideways. That way I can kind of get it out of the way when we work on the next one. So I'm just going to set that on there. And we're going to pop that in. And now the top and the bottom are both on. So I'm just going to, I'm going to put it on there for 3 minutes. So I'm just going to slide that over so that we can work on the next one. So, and they just come in a box of 4. I got them on Amazon. They're just LED night lights. They're not that expensive either. And even though I just took them out, just to make sure that we have no nothing on there. Let's see what we've got for some flowers. So these are flowers and butterflies and I don't even remember where I got these. Probably Amazon. That's where I get the most of my stuff. All right, so I think that's going to be perfect. And no. All right. So we're just going to go with that. Let me pop these back in the bag. Let's put that back over there. So I'm just going to peel these apart if I can with my gloves. I might have to take my gloves off. Oh, maybe not. And I'm just slowly rubbing that down so we have no bubbles underneath. And these are not DTF stickers, guys. These are just, and I have so many of them that I'm like, why not start using some? All right. I'm going to overlap that just a smidge. There we go. And then we're just going to put a clear coat over the top, and that is it. And then this is our finished little butterfly light. Isn't that cute? And that's nice and adhered. I'll just pop that under there. Just finish letting it cure. I'm going to move that over a little bit. And we're just going to put clear on this one. And the sticker lines should completely disappear once we get this UV resin on there. So we're gonna, again, we're just gonna tease it. You can bring it right to the edge, just don't have it too thick and have it go over. I want to make sure that I'm in frame so you guys can, so I mean, you could put, you know, people's pictures in here. You could put little sayings, you know, if it was like going in a kitchen, you could put little, I don't know, coffee things or whatever. Now I'm going to turn it sideways, just because like turning it sideways, I could see there was spots that I had missed on the side. So I'm just going to bring that to the edge, and then I'm just going to bring this down. I'm going to try to keep it like an even line going across the bottom, so it doesn't like run into the, you know, into the bottom. And I'm just gonna run that right to the edge. And we're gonna just smear this. Now I could have put a little crushed crystal in here as well. And I'm just gonna look at it at different angles. That looks pretty good. So wipe our stick. And I'm gonna take my long neck lighter. And we're just gonna get those surface bubbles popped. All right, now I don't know if you can see it. See right there? That's what you don't want. You want to make sure there are no like little spots like that that are pulling away. That's what they call a fisheye. And that is not going to be pretty. You can fix it, but if you can avoid it, you're better off. You know, and you can also let these sit for a few minutes, just making sure that there's no like hollow spots. This one looks really good. So we're just going to pop it in the curing machine. I mean, in the light. And that is our beautiful first one. And then you can just keep your bags that they come in and just kind of pop them back in so that they're nice and protected, like that. So these is something easy. This is a very easy, beginner-friendly project that you can do. All right, so let's do, let's see, I haven't used the pink. And I just need some little scissors. All right, so let me see. I think I want to do this big one right here. So I'm going to cut it fairly close. All right, so I just want to round this just a little bit here. I just try to get as close as I can to eliminate, you know, like a whole bunch of that clear, even though it will dissipate. All right, so that is going to look good there. Let me grab let's just grab a little bit of this, like this pink mylar flake. So we'll just, I don't want a ton, but I want to just kind of show you guys like different things that you can do. And I know I have one open, but we're just gonna open another one here. Really, every color but the pink. Come on. Now, obviously, these would look better if you had a black background, but you can just kind of mix them in. And I don't want a lot. All right, let's get the sticker off. Come on. Now, a lot of times I don't use my gloves when I'm doing the UV resin because I don't usually get it on me, but, and I gotta take my gloves off, guys, hang on. I can't. Oh. All right. Phew. All right. Now. And my nails are gross. I'm sorry, guys. Even though I wear gloves with Powertex, I still, like, touch it after, and I get Powertex all over me, so. And sometimes when you cut it, it makes it a little bit harder to get. There we go. Okay. And just make sure that you wipe the whole piece so that you have no air pockets underneath there. And then I put a little alcohol and I'm just wiping my fingerprints off of there. Okay, so let's see here. I'm gonna put some clear resin down first, and then we will pop some of that in. Because I don't want a lot of that on here. All right, let's just get it to the edge. And we've already got a little piece that I had on my stick here. And I'm just gonna run it nice and smooth. Right across the bottom. But I've put like the little axolotls, little frogs, you know, anything you can put on these. All right, so that looks good. So I'm just gonna spread this around, and then I'm just gonna pick up some of that and put it in some different spots. Just so we have a little bit of, you know, that sparkly. Now, I mean, you could do the whole thing with this, but I think if you put too much of this, it could actually like take away from the beauty of it. You just, and that way when your light is not on, because these go on automatically when it gets dark, but when they're not on, you will get this pretty image that is in there. So, you know, you still have something pretty to look at, whether it's, you know, in your bathroom or hallway. There we go. I'm just trying to make sure that I'm not like overdoing. Now I just looked sideways and I have a bald spot in the middle and I have some down here. So definitely look at multiple angles, because it seems like this one is wanting to pull away. So that means I need to add just a little bit more resin. Then I can move my flakes around, but the resin, you know, it's still adding that little bit of resin. And then we might have to top coat this. So that was one of the main reasons why I added these flakes in, to show you that if you put something and it's sticking up, what to do. All right, let's get our bubbles out. All right. And these are our beautiful roses that are all nice and sealed. Okay, so we got one more. Let's see, what are we going to put on this one? Let's do, these are a little bit more holographic. That's pretty. All right, let me just see if I can get it at an angle. Oh, right. All right, I think. All right, I think we're gonna do this just like that, and I'm just going to cut this edge. Just like that, because I don't want any of the plastic like going over the edge. All right, so let me get this stuck down and then we will figure out there we go. So we'll see how pretty that is. And you know what? We're just going to use the plain UV resin. We're just going to do very simple. Going to try to keep this video very quick for you guys. So yeah, let me know what your thoughts are. And would you like to see more videos like this? Something quick. So just again, I'm just teasing that to the outside. And you don't want to put too much because you still want your light, you know, to be able to penetrate through your light base. But yet this gives you that extra little something when the nightlight is not on. And we're gonna pop some bubbles. Just like that. Pop that in. All right, so I can feel, see how you can see the little pieces? So in order to fix that, all we're gonna do is we're gonna put another top coat on the top. And then we will just cure it again, and then you have that nice finished edge, you know, finished top, so that you have no bumpies. Because we don't want no bumpies. Come over here, you. All right, so again, and on this this coat, you might have to really pay attention to your edges because now it's already going to start being a little bit more rounded. So you just want to make sure before you cure it that nothing is leaking over your sides. Like right here. Just wipe it if you see it. You know, and just keep turning your piece so that you can see it at all different angles. And that's what when I first started, that's where I used to make all my mistakes. I wouldn't turn, now I just didn't go over, but I thought it did, so I wanted to instantly get that wiped. And again, you still want to make sure that you're watching that you don't have any voids, any clear spots. Because if you do, then you're going to end up having to put another coat. All right, so that looks pretty good. We're going to pop any surface bubbles. And I'm just looking at different, you know, different angles. I had those two little tiny spots. And that is our other one. Perfectly nice and smooth. Nothing ran over. So let's that one out of the bag. So that is 3 beautiful night lights that were just a plain, simple blah. And we turned them into something beautiful. So that is how easy it is, guys. So you could do that with anything that, you know, is it like a piece of acrylic that you want to accentuate? You know, whether it's like an acrylic keychain, you know, night lights, whatever. The only thing, if you're using pictures, make sure that they are sealed. Either with a sealer on both sides or laminated. Laminated would be the best, especially if you're new. So I'm just gonna move this out. When that's done, I will take it out and we will show you all 4. Oh, there we go. I can get them to stand up a little bit. You know, so we could have put some flowers or something even around this one. But because, you know, it's already a chunky piece, I didn't want to do too much. All right, so we'll just wait for that one to cure. And then we will be all done, guys. And then what I'll probably do, is I'll try to think of some other things that we could do that are similar, where we could add different things. So yeah, let me think on that for a bit and see what I can come up with. Because I'm going to have limited space here for a few days until I get my my fairy house finished because I ran out of power tack. So I'm hoping that they're going to be there tomorrow so I can go pick up some more. If not, I'll have to wait till Saturday or Monday. And now and now you can see it's nice and smooth on the top. We have no more little burr things sticking up. So yeah, these are our 4 gorgeous little night lights. Let me know your comments let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I will see you on the next one. Guys, we are really close. Last I checked, we needed 10 more to get to the 4,000 subscriber mark, and that will be a giveaway. So make sure you hit the like, share, subscribe, all that. It really does help my channel. So I will see you guys all later. Bye, guys.